welcome to the Minds of Madness podcast with myself and the wonderful Sean. There he is.
It's me.
Hey, I'm here.
I'm back.
Yeah, I'm alive. Yeah, but here we are, back again.
But yeah, looking forward to seeing where it goes with the story. Yeah, don't have any idea who the killer is, and I want to keep it that way. So yeah, enjoy quality of life features and a new mode to do update.
Yeah,
because obviously it wasn't much a few weeks before this launch. They didn't show anything about it. People thought, oh my god, this is next gen now.
Yeah, this is big. I mean, to be fair, they're all blocks.
Codes, yeah.
Yeah, I remember the cheat codes, the soundtrack. Boom, new graphics. That was. How did you miss it?
Hyping over everything you need to. So
Yeah,
there's that, and then there's like one quick thing about you. What have you?
Nope, I refuse.
It's just.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Minds of Madness podcast with myself and the wonderful Sean. There he is.
It's me.
Hey, I'm here.
I'm back.
Yeah, I'm alive. Yeah, but here we are, back again. We told you we were back and we were going to keep this consistent. There you go.
Did you say biscuit distant?
Biscuit distant? I think I'm still half asleep. But yeah, welcome everybody. I hope you enjoyed this episode of the podcast, and yeah, we'll see how we go. Some few interesting things to talk about today. Some news stuff. As we normally have. We have our films and our gaming, and I even believe we have an interesting thing today.
Yeah, we did. Got an interesting thing.
So, yeah, but to start this off, Sean, because we like to start talking to one another. How's your week been?
My week's been all right. Yeah, I've just been trying to fill it with productive things to do around the house, things that you need to occupy yourself with when you've been pushing it back all the time.
Just constantly, I do that later.
But yeah, pretty good. I can't complain. How are you doing yourself?
Not too bad. I've been pretty good. Lot going on. Very busy. Something I will quickly promote. I know, James is a shill. He is. No. So I actually recently got contacted by two people I know who stream, and they do this kind of stuff, Sparklecat and Hayes. And they asked me to be a part of a non-profit organisation that they have called Two-Way. So there's a picture on screen of it. There you go. Ooh, flashy, beautiful. But yeah, if you want to check them out, their Discord link is down below. And there is also a link to their website as well if you want to go check that out, and their Twitter. Essentially what Two-Way do, it's just a non-profit organisation that is trying to spread positivity and basically what I normally spout. Who doesn't want to have a positive outlook? They're trying to get rid of toxicity online. It's like a safe space that you can go, be yourself. Don't worry about other, people. Just be you. You do you, boo. And that's it. So, yeah, go and check them out, please. And I will be shilling them from now on.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Those are the kind of things you were doing already.
Yeah,
basically. Being positive in that
on,
regard.
On my stream, anyway. This podcast's slightly different.
Yeah.
When we talk
This
about
is your
news.
safe space to be a miserable path.
Yeah, exactly. But, yeah, if you're interested, all the links are down below. Please go check them out. But, yeah, so other than that, and being a part of something like that, which is very cool, not a lot. Just streaming as normal. I've just playing games.
Obviously had an end to the full month of streaming. That went well.
Yeah, that was interesting. The last stream, obviously, that I did was rough, but it was good. I had a good time with it. We raised £510, which is insane. So yeah, it was a great time. And now I've just been chilling out, playing some games, watching some games. Maybe we'll talk about that later. But yeah, they involve with squids.
Well, before we start on the squid, we'll start on the news.
Yes.
Segue.
The fun part of this.
So obviously, throughout the past week and in the next few weeks, there's the COP26 climate change conference style summit thing.
Yeah.
Going on.
Of course.
Obviously, there's all the world leaders are coming together to try and act and eliminate climate change or slow it down to a great extent. because we're never going to eliminate it.
No.
But
We live here, so.
certain things like having no petrol cars being sold past 2030 and stuff, and some kind of insulation thing, not to do with insulated bread. But,
yeah, no.
But yeah, Biden was there, and obviously, it's such an interesting conference that he may have nodded off at one point.
Oh, poor Sleepy Joe.
Yeah, he's really not doing himself any favors for that.
Oh, goodness. Yeah.
The rumours that Boris Johnson also fell asleep at some point.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. He doesn't give a shit.
It's like funny, but then it's also these are the world leaders.
Yeah, these are the people that run the world, essentially.
And they can't even bother to like stay awake for the conference and like act upon it.
Oh, fuck. It's awful.
See, Greta piped up and she's shown her face there, and shove your climate crisis at my ass or something.
Oh, she has gone about it in the wrong way, admittedly.
She's mocking like the world leaders and stuff, like they're all doing the blah 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 blah.
Yeah, Boris said that in his speech, didn't he? Like he actually like quoted her. It was something I don't know the actual quote. It was something like we're not just here for some blah blah blah. We're here to make a change. And it's like, oh, fuck off, Boris.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about Greta. There's some kind of like undercurrent of worshipping, this child model that really doesn't know what much about life.
Yeah.
If anything, I mean, she's skipped a lot of school. She's never had a job.
I personally blame her dad, because the thing is, I'm fine with Greta doing what she's doing now, right? She's over 18. She can do what she wants. Yeah,
she can face a bit of criticism.
Yeah,
as well.
she can be who she wants to be. But I do not agree with the fact that her father let her go out there. Bear in mind, she has Asperger's as well.
Yeah.
So that comes with a whole amount of struggle and issues and learning curves and things with life. And her dad was just like, yeah, sure, you can go out there in front of the public and get death threats and stuff. Like, my little girl is great. She's doing a great job. And it's like, you're a bit of a fucking shit parent, aren't you? Like, I kind of wish that she had waited a bit longer until she was 18 and then did it. Because I feel like she would have got more credibility as well.
Yeah.
I mean, even she has commented on it and said that, she feels like when she was younger and she was sort of going around and talking to people, she did say things that were probably not the best things to say and probably did push people away from her.
Yeah.
But for her to be able to acknowledge it, I mean, that's good.
Yeah.
But I don't think rallying up, Scottish people and making them angry is going to help your cause. Not to say anything about the Scots. I love Scottish people, but they're not exactly, when you rile them up, not the most easy to reason with.
Yeah. It's a lot of what she says. It's kind of not. It's kind of very emotive jargon, maybe, but I mean, based on some facts. But I don't know. I've seen a lot of people call her like the Doom Goblin and stuff, which is a bit.
The Doom Goblin. Holy shit! I've never heard that. That's awful.
But yeah, kind of comparing it to like doomsayers and stuff which have been throughout history. The end is nigh. But I mean, climate crisis is a bit more real than that.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the issues that Greta has, is that people are trying to lump her in with all these other people that are like, oh, your shit's like just fake. It's as fake as the shit in 2012. And it's like, actually, what she's talking about is very real, but she hasn't helped her cause.
Yeah.
And I think, again, I don't blame Greta for that. I blame her parents. They should have stepped in, or at least her father, because I believe she only lives with her father. I don't know if that's correct or not, but I don't know. But all I've ever heard of is her dad.
You think I did my research about these?
Yeah, I know. You think we research this stuff? Oh my God, we just look at headlines and then discuss. No, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think she's trying to spread a good message, but she's gone about it in a terrible, terrible manner.
Yeah, I suppose someone has to kind of bring it to the forefront and get people talking about it, even just talking about it in a negative way, still talking about it.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, she needs to kind of go to school, go back to college, get some life experience, and then come back and lecture us on taking private jets and things. Which, yeah.
I mean, I think what she talks about is true, and I think she does spout truth. But I think the way she goes about it is not going to help her cause at all. And I think that's what is screwing her over with the majority of people, especially world leaders. Although world leaders are all assholes.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no. I agree with her when she's talking about like how the world leaders. Oh yeah, they've got this summit. They're all going to chat and talk and fix things. What a load of shit. They're not going to do that. I agree with her.
Yeah.
It's all for fucking appearances. I mean, like, again, Joe Biden, Boris just falling asleep. I think the two most passionate people I saw talk at that summit were David Attenborough,
Yeah.
and Barack Obama. And Barack didn't even have to fucking be there.
No.
But he was like, I'm here because I'm a badass and I wanna make people feel good.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and both of them seem genuinely passionate. Well, of course, David Attenborough seems passionate. I mean, the man has lived in nature basically all his life.
Yeah, definitely. He's one. I definitely listen to him more than Greta.
Oh yeah.
But they are both on the same ballpark.
I liked that there was like an interview chat between the two of them, and that conversation was really good. It was really productive, and you can tell Greta is very knowledgeable.
Yeah.
But she's very young, and although she has a lot of force and passion
Emotion.
for it, and emotion, you have to be able to control yourself to an extent, I guess, to be able to, especially to get hold of, big players in government and things. I know she's met like Nicola Sturgeon and stuff, Jimmy Cranky, but but I'm fairly certain that they didn't get along. Because if you see the photos that they have, they won't even look at each other. They don't like each other at all. So, I mean, I don't know. But, yeah, a weird one. I don't know. What's kind of your opinion on the summit? Do you think anything is going to change? Because they did set goals in Paris, what was it, 5 years ago? And, they didn't stick to them. Some of them haven't stuck to them. So do you think this is really going to change anything? Or do you think this is more serious this time?
I think I'm hopeful that they're gonna try and pull together and stick to the agreements and stuff and reduce carbon emissions in all these countries. But at the end of the day, whatever we do is not going to make a difference compared to what like China and other countries are producing in the world.
China and India,
so it needs to really involve them as well. It needs to be like an international thing. I don't know. Is it already an international thing? I don't know, unless it's just...
I think all the countries, Russia, China, and India, I think, went there. I think. I could be wrong. I know China and Russia definitely didn't, but I know India is, I think, the third. China's first? And I think China are investing in coal for 4 more years. So, I mean... like, they're building 4 more coal plants as we speak. Yeah. So, I mean, they're not exactly like, oh, sure, yeah, we'll cut ours in half.
Been there, I think, yeah.
They don't give a shit. I think that's the problem.
Yeah.
But I think you are right in the sense of, unless everyone does this, we're not going to save this planet. This planet's doomed. This will be online for about 100 years, and it'll be fucked because we're not going to be here anymore. Humans will be gone.
Yeah. I think it's definitely something that everyone should be knowledgeable about and know about and know where they can make the savings and whatnot and recycle and all this stuff. But
definitely,
it really needs like a big, huge leap of effort from everyone.
Yeah. Do you know who I think should lead this charge? Jimmy Cranky and the Doom Goblin. I think that's just no one else can do this. It's like Sam and Frodo with the One Ring. Oh.
Anyway.
Great.
No, we respect these individuals.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, come on. We can joke about it. If you don't like it, that's fine. Go write a blog about it. It's a fucking joke.
Opposite podcast.
Yeah, exactly. I do a podcast shitting all over. It's fine. Whatever. But yeah. I mean, interesting topic to talk about, but I think it's such a jumbled mess at the same time.
Yeah. But yeah, in other news, there was a Travis Scott concert at Astro World.
Yeah.
A couple of days ago.
Fucking
which I
moron.
think 8 people are dead and another 13 are seriously injured in hospital or something.
Yeah, it's like 300 people that got injured or something. I'm aware, it's seriously injured or lower, but apparently, from what I've looked into, it was crowd crush. I don't know if you've ever heard of that.
Sheer amount of people in there.
Yeah, and people would just push into the front and people just couldn't breathe. And what makes this, I don't know, absolutely fucking shocking to me is you watch Travis on stage And you can see, right, I know people have used this excuse of, well, look at the sheer number of people there. How is he meant to know? How is he meant to tell? It must be really difficult. And I agree. It's like there are going to be times where artists do not spot anything. But he literally looked at a man that had passed out and like dead, basically, a corpse, and he started singing to it as they lifted him up and took him out on the stretcher. He didn't stop the concert. He was like, right, enough now. This is getting too much. I'm fucking stopping this until you will grow up and act like fucking adults. Instead, he just pointed at him and started serenading the body.
Yeah, it's like absolutely insane.
And people are like, oh, well, he had no idea. The fuck are you talking about?
They have earpieces in. Anyone around him could have like said something to him, or like, I mean, I think he is definitely part of the problem, but it's like kind of a bigger venue problem as well. With the security and stuff, like people not relaying messages, like the crowd literally screaming to stop the concert because it was too much.
There was one guy who was like,
not aware of that, and how is anyone not telling him?
Well, he was like, shall we continue the concert and stuff? And he was like, put your hands up, and people were screaming for him to stop the show. And then you have, put your hands up, stop, you fucking lunatic. Like you had one kid or one guy. I say kid, you know, he looks younger than me. That's why I just naturally go to that. But he was like talking to one of the Apple cameramen or camera women that were there and trying to like tell them to like shut the fuck up and just get some help in because someone had just passed out and they were not breathing. There was another person who was being trampled on and people were trying to help them and pull him up and they couldn't because they just got pushed away. People were jumping on the fucking like stretchers as well that were being taken. Who the fuck does that? Woo, free ride, you know, like what?
It's a bit like, the venue was only meant for like, I believe it was either 5,000 or 10,000, and it double that amount came in.
Yeah. Well, it's
because he like advertised it as like, yo, it doesn't matter, you know, it's badass if you break in.
Isn't it? This isn't the first time he's done this either, is it? Like he's had. I didn't realize this, but Travis Scott is one of the worst live performers for fucking riling up his fans and causing issues. He's actually been, by the way, for anyone who's not aware of this, Travis Scott has been actually done and has a criminal record for this shit, for inciting a riot and things like that. And it's nuts to me how he's never been like stopped or like as you say, this is also partly the venue's fault. I'm not putting all the blame on Travis here.
Yeah.
But when they breached the gate, as we were talking about just then, you know, when they came in before the show had even started, you know, and security just couldn't stop people, that moment should have been when the venue went, you're not doing the show. Tell your fucking fans who haven't bought a ticket to fuck off home. It's not happening. But they didn't, and they just let it happen, and it's... I don't know.
He is a role model for a lot of, like, young people. It's like his music is based... Well, I mean, the main fan base of his music is, like, 14, 15, 16... to 20 or whatever.
Fortnite.
Oh, that's probably the main base. And yeah, he
was in Fortnite. So.
In Fortnite.
That should give you a clue.
Quite a funny story about that, actually.
Oh, God.
Because the day after all this aired, like, one of his emotes ended up in the daily rotation of the shop, and then it was a big kind of controversy, and they're like, we don't really want to support this, so there's an issue with the daily shop. No, we can no longer sell this.
Oh, that's why it was down. I quickly went on that day, and it just wasn't working.
Yeah, it's quite funny, like how that was timed.
Yeah, that's awful.
Obviously, everyone who's already got the Travis Scott skin is kind of trolling everyone right now.
Yeah, of course.
So it's that brings up like another discussion maybe for the end about, you know, collaborations with celebrities in popular media and games and stuff like.
I think that's fine. I think when it came to Travis Scott, I think the problem is, right, it's this thing of as someone who does streaming and things, I can speak on like a small amount. I wouldn't work with someone if their past clearly spoke a pattern. Like Travis Scott, for instance, all his live shows, he clearly does not give a shit about the safety of his fans at all. Clearly. He incited riots. He has told people to jump barricades before. There was like a show that he did. I don't know the specifics, but he did a show where he actually managed to get all of the security that was stood in front fucking waved over by hundreds of people and injured a bunch of security people who literally were there to do their fucking job. And Travis was like, just punch them, spit in their face, get on stage with me. And it's like, who the fuck are you? Just like, I mean, I understand there's this, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong in saying this, but sometimes it feels like there's like a layer of protection over certain artists for their skin color. And I'm not saying that white people don't do stupid fucking shit as well, but they do. But Travis has done so many bad things, and yet I've never seen anyone report on it. I've never seen anyone give a shit. But then the moment someone who's white does something, immediately called out, they're cancelled, they're gone forever. And I feel like there's still this discrimination. Right, it happens with white people too. There are white artists who have done stupid shit as well. I'm not denying that.
Yeah.
But I do feel
like... Just comes with, like, fame and success as well, I suppose. Like,
exactly.
Power, money.
Like, a lot of people said, oh, well, he didn't stop the show because he wasn't aware and things like that. Or he didn't stop the show because he wanted to, still play the show for the people that wanted the show. Let me give you an example. Nickelback. They have walked off over 100 shows because either they had been booed off or they could see their fans were in danger, so they just stopped the show and that was it. Didn't carry on. And Travis had every fucking moment to stop that show, and he clearly had enough fucking people screaming at him. As you say, he probably had an earpiece of people going, "Can you fucking stop, please?" Yeah. And he just doesn't care. And then his fuck me. Can we talk about his apology video, please? It was like top tier YouTube apology. It was a top tier YouTube apology, right? He had the fucking head. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry.
Fake crying.
Go and buy my merch. Oh, it's such a hard day. I pray for the families as I
Fortnite, guys. Oh.
Yeah, it just felt so fucking contrived and fake, and he had this is the thing. This is how you know it was a bullshit apology. He put a fucking filter over himself to make it seem more. Oh, I'm sad. As someone who has made
me how someone like that with that personality can get to where he is. Like, I think he's just been either handed some opportunities on the plate, or just, I don't know, been made like an example of look, you can be anything you want.
I'm not gonna shit all over Travis and like his music and stuff. I don't personally like it, not for me. But clearly he has an audience. That much is obvious, right? So there must be something there. But I do think you are right. I think there is just a certain amount in the industry where it's like, because I think Drake was there as well. Drake did like a song with him, and Drake's getting a lot of shit for this because he basically he didn't speak up and stop the show as well. I think isn't Travis's girlfriend or partner like Kylie Jenner or something? I don't fucking know. But like she put a quote out saying, "Well, we had no idea people were in trouble." And if you look
one of the most powerful families, rich families, in America.
You look at this is the best part. She put out like a statement saying that they had no idea, they didn't know this stuff was going on. It's like, oh, okay. I guess I can kind of understand. And literally, if you look at one of her pictures that she shared, you can see one of the fucking ambulance crews struggling to get through the crowd. And she's like, no idea, though. We didn't know. Yeah. It's like, how fucking dull do you have to be? Like, do you just not care? Do you think you're untouchable? I honestly, if nothing else, Travis needs to be fucking held accountable for this, along with the venue. Right? Yeah. Not just Travis, the venue as well. Because I think a lot of people are heavily focusing on Travis because he's like the idol. He's the artist at the center.
Yeah.
But you are right, as you said earlier. This is also a venue issue, clearly. Not enough rules were followed. Not enough precautions were taken. Clearly not enough staff was hired. So
there needs to be some like serious changes moving forward from this. If there was like an absolute breakdown of communication and errors on all sides and stuff like that, things need to seriously change with concerts everywhere going forward.
I mean, clearly. Thing is,
it can't be the case that people can just walk in and barge in as a crowd. Like, what the hell?
I mean, I've never seen something like that ever, and but apparently it's super common. And I'm like, where?
like back in my day, his type of music, it wasn't stuff you mosh out to. It's like, I mean, I'm sure we've both been to heavier concerts than whatever his music is. But he's just the type of person to incite this kind of thing. Like, with some of the lyrics, it ain't a mosh pit unless someone gets injured or something. That's one of his lyrics.
Which is just stupid.
I'm not like someone who digs too deep into things, but I mean, that is a statement.
I'd love Travis to meet like Corey Taylor from Slipknot and Stone Sour, because Corey would slap him up for that shit. You do not I've never personally been in a mosh pit. Because for me, not my thing. I panic in crowds, so I'm always on the outside. But every mosh pit that I have seen or witnessed or been like sort of on the outskirts of, people help each other up. People
Yeah,
make
it's
sure
kind of
they
a
are
mutual
safe.
respect thing.
Yeah, it's like you're all there to have a good time. You're not there to hurt each other. And if someone gets hurt, you pick them up, you make sure they're okay, and if they don't want to be a part of it anymore, you make sure they get to the side so they're safe and they can enjoy it. Like, I've been to fucking concerts where people scream, like screamo concerts, and people are like, "Oh, that's death metal. If you go to those, you might break a bone." And it's like, no, that you'd be surprised.
Yeah.
Linkin, perfect example. Bless him. Chester obviously is no longer here, but Linkin Park, numerous times they stopped their concerts and went, "Don't fucking do that. Help that person up, you prick." And literally have thrown people out of their concerts because they're like not helping people up. You know, fucking Slipknot, one of the heaviest metal bands out there, and they constantly stop their shows if people are acting like arse-wipes. And then you go to like something like a Travis Scott concert and see this shit, and it's like, why?
It just basically screams like, I don't care.
It just screams like, oh, it's not my responsibility. People should know better. And it's like, your audience are younger.
Like, well, he didn't personally trample on anyone, or it's like an indirect link, isn't it?
Yeah, it's so stupid. But I agree. I do think it's the venue and the artist that need to sort of take responsibility.
In a lot of places there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it leaves a very sour note.
It does.
With,
and I think that's the shame as well. It's like, clearly Travis has some talent. And I just wish that people who had this kind of talent, had this power, had this reach over people, were just more sensible. And would just be like, right, okay, we're all here for a good time, but if you see someone in danger, help them. Yeah. And if you don't, fuck you all, I'll stop the concert here and now. Simple. Yeah. And it's like, just make that clear. But he was just like...
He's like paying for the funerals of the victims. Like, oh yeah, that's going to make a big difference because you got money come out your ass.
He said, I think he made a statement that he was going to pay for the funerals, and there was an investigation going on, so he's cooperating 100%. Yeah. I'm like, no, you're not. Your team is.
Yeah, he needs to basically stop all albums for now and just focus on Reform or something.
Yeah, I know he's cancelled his LA. Was it LA? Yeah, LA, Las Vegas or something. He had like a show planned that got cancelled because he cancelled it. Apparently he didn't, his rep team did, let's be real here. But that's not enough. I mean,
I know.
He needs to come out and make a statement and be like, do you know what, I've made a lot of stupid fucking decisions in my life and he
needs some dramatic change.
Yeah, he needs to maybe take some time away. Fucking find yourself, Travis. There's no shame in that. You've got enough money to live the rest of your life. You've got enough money to make Jeff Bezos blush. So, I mean, just go off, live your fucking life, learn clearly what boundaries are, and become a better fucking human being. So when you come back and you start doing shows again, you can actually keep your fans safe. Because 8 people lost their lives. 8 families are now changed forever. And it wasn't because of COVID, it was because of your dumbass not fucking being responsible enough.
Yeah.
But there we are. A tragedy that could have been completely avoided.
Absolutely. Just by like a cult of personality change. But
madness.
That's what goes on in this world.
Yeah. Whew. I'm glad we talked about that though. I actually forgot about that, so I'm glad we could talk about that. Oh,
I do apologise.
There is the building work. It's quite alright.
But yes, do you have any news things, or I can mute.
No, it's fine.
Too annoying.
It's fine. I now have outtakes. Oh, poor Sean has to mute himself until he speaks. Oh, I feel bad now. But yeah, I do have one news thing, which is quickly touching on what we have touched on with the Alec Baldwin situation, of course. Baldwin. Of course, a tragedy that happened. Shot his gun, killed the cinematographer, and injured the director. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson made a comment on this and actually vowed to never... His production company will never use real guns on set again. They will always be rubber guns, and they will use them in post-CG. So when they're doing all the post stuff and effects, they'll basically make the guns look real. And he basically just said, no matter how much money it costs, that's what they're going to do. What do you think of kind of that then?
It's a good step for him, but at the end of the day, it's kind of easy to say that as Dwayne Johnson.
Yeah. This
not
is
so easy as like an up-and-coming director or an up-and-coming actor to say things like that because they don't have the money to facilitate that kind of stuff.
This is the thing that I found interesting is when you listen to his words, he specifically says, "My company will no longer use it. So any movies that I do with my company, I won't be using real guns." Okay, what about all the other films you're doing then? Like, if they're not his company, what, he's just gonna have to suck it up and get on with it? Like, that's what I'm kind of finding
He's
odd.
got the luxury of deciding what films he can do now, I suppose, because he's getting on a little bit. He's still, absolutely
Yes.
God.
The man is clearly taking something. He's nearly 48 and he has the arms of a tree. So,
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't think he's on some kind of, not steroids as such, but testosterone or anything like that, then you are fucking mental. But yeah, I mean, because I find that interesting. I'm glad that he's vowed that his company won't use it. But the fact that he didn't speak on, he hasn't mentioned at all on others, at least as far as I'm aware, on any other sets, that if he does a film like that's not linked to that, or his company, that he'll still use the guns because he has no choice, otherwise he doesn't get paid.
Yeah. Let's hope that it kind of starts a kind of movement of change.
That was my next question.
I can afford to do this, so I'm going to take the high ground and do it anyway.
Yeah, that was kind of my next question. Do you think this is something that is going to be adopted by the industry? Because, I mean, again, post effects cost a lot of money. So to take rubber guns, which, let's be real, are going to look like arse, and turn them into something very real, is going to cost a lot of money. So do you think that the industry is going to try and do that? Or do you inevitably, this is personally my opinion, I think there's inevitably going to be some outliers that try and skirt around it to avoid having to spend more money. Because, again, money makes the world go round.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it's like a difficult one because, I mean, how much can it be guns these days, 3D printed guns, BB guns, things like that, they look exactly like the real thing. So,
yeah.
I'm sure it's not going to be a massive thing to implement that nationwide and across the board. But it's just going to take all the governing bodies to actually accept it, and I'm sure some of them, South American or whatever, they'll be like, "Oh yeah, it's our Fifth Amendment or whatever."
It's our goddamn right to be shooting guns on set.
I have a gun in my house. Why can't I have it on the film set?
Oh, brilliant. Again, all in jest. All in jest. Read the mug.
So it's just like...
Yeah. I don't know.
Hopefully it'll change going forward, but,
Yeah.
there's no guarantees.
Of course.
And it's just whoever's at the top with the most money is going to have to make that difficult choice.
I think it's probably going to become a thing that's more implemented after the outcome of whatever happens with the Alec Baldwin case. Of course, there are criminal charges trying to be filed. So I think if they actually succeed and someone does get done for this, which they rightfully should, I think that's what's going to be the catalyst for change. I don't think it's Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson being like, I'm going to start using rubber guns on set. My arms could kill a man if I clothesline them, but...
A man who's done how many Fast and Furious films and how many...
Oh!
But
Yeah, I mean, that's something to talk about as well, just quickly, and then we'll move on, unless you've got any more new stuff. Vin Diesel put out a plea to Dwayne Johnson to come back to the Fast franchise for the last installment, and everyone has memed on him. Because, actually, quite rightfully so. I like Vin Diesel's films. I've never hidden this. But the man is fucking weird. He is a strange bloke. But apparently, so I don't have his statement or anything in front of me. I did read it earlier, but I can't remember it. But he did kind of use Paul Walker's death in the statement, and he put this out on public, on social media, to try and sort of peer pressure Dwayne Johnson to join the films. He sort of brought up Paul Walker's death, saying you owe him this, and you're a brother, you're part of the... it felt very contrived, and sort of not really like a thing of, we want you back, come and play Hobbs, no one else can play him, that kind of thing. It was more like a jab at him. It felt like Vin Diesel was jabbing at him, being like, well, you fucked off, you left. Come and finish what you fucking started. Do you want to go off and make Hobbs and Shaw 2? First you finish this shit. And I don't know, a lot of people had an issue with that, because everyone who knows Dwayne Johnson... At least, I'm sure he is a different person behind the scenes because that's just what it is. But he is a hardworking guy. He has hundreds of different films that he does. But a lot of people had issue with this because they felt like Vin Diesel was kind of trying to blackmail him to come back. And because, let's be honest, Vin Diesel's star has fallen pretty far at this point. He's basically known for just saying "firmly," and that's it. So that's yeah. So, what's kind of your thoughts on that? Because obviously, if you've not heard about this, it's probably like a bit weird. But
I think I've read like a tiny bit about it, but yeah, it's a bit. If actors decide they want to kind of branch away from a franchise, especially when it's had 9 films so far,
yeah, it's going to have 10 and 11 as well.
Yeah. Then it's their choice, I suppose. Like I think change is quite good sometimes, and it's not the end of the world, and you don't have to kind of bring up the past in kind of blackmailing ways to get someone to do it publicly as well. That's not really fair.
No, I think I actually want to get the quote up because it was an odd quote, and I think you might actually find it very, very contrived, considering
It's obviously he'll done it as like, oh, this is going to be so funny when I do this in this public eye. It's like,
yeah.
Yes.
So this is how it starts off, right? My little brother Dwayne.
Okay, patronizing already.
Exactly. Yeah, it's kind of like he's going, I'm the big guy.
Especially when Dwayne is bigger than him.
I'm not being funny. Dwayne could wipe the floor with him. But yeah, it's quite ironic as well. It's like my little brother. It feels very sort of I'm the alpha here, like not
I'm
you.
the boss. You're the underling.
The time has come. The world awaits the final of Fast 10. As you know, my children refer to you as Uncle Dwayne in my house, so it's like a guilt thing.
Yeah, guilt trip there.
There's not a holiday that goes by that they and you don't send well wishes. 3 dots. So like a pause.
Yeah.
I guarantee he was high when he did this. But the time has come. Legacy awaits. It's like talking like he's Jesus.
Yeah, it's like a messiah.
It's like talking like he's Jesus. I told you years ago that I was going to fulfill my promise to Pablo, which is his nickname for Paul Walker. I swore that we would reach and manifest the best fast in the final. That is 10. I say this out of love.
Yeah.
But you must show up. Do not leave the franchise idle. You have a very important role to play. Hobbs cannot be played by no other. I hope that you rise to the occasion and fulfill your destiny. And it just feels very...
Doesn't sound like something he would say.
It sounds insincere, right?
Yeah. It probably is one of those things that kind of started off as a joke, as if you say to a friend, oh, come on, come and get a coffee with me, because you love me.
Well, I mean, it was. I mean, their feud was very fucking public. Like, it was very clear that they do not like each other. Yeah. And obviously, Dwayne made a comment on it not that long ago where he was like, look, we squashed it. We had a chat. We just work on different wavelengths. That's fine. But I'm not coming back to Fast and Furious, the main franchise. He's still got Hobbs and Shaw, by the way. He's doing Hobbs and Shaw too. So for him to be like, no one else can play Hobbs, well, yeah, he's aware. That's why he's got a spin-off. That you greenlit. Because Vin gets a say, by the way, in anything Fast and Furious. Because it's Vin's baby. So, yeah, I don't know. To me, that sounds very fucking... I don't know, contrived.
Put that out there. It's like probably started off as a bit of a joke, but he's obviously been writing it and gone too far.
I mean, especially using Paul Walker. Like, people are fucking furious at him.
Yeah, and his kids, and
Yeah,
like,
I think Vin Diesel knows that his time is basically coming up.
I think this will be the nail in the coffin of Fast and Furious.
I do, yeah. I think
Dwayne.
Fast and Furious 10 is going to be one of those... Because it's going to be 10 and 11, by the way, so it's going to be part 1 and part 2. But yeah, I think it's going to be... I don't know. Dwayne isn't coming back. People are like, oh, is he? And he's already said he isn't coming back for it. So maybe this is actually going to be a nail in the coffin for Vin Diesel's career. I think after Fast and Furious, these last 2 films, he's done. I don't think it's going to... Even though I think he's working on Furia, which is the 4th Riddick film. I don't think it's gonna work, Vin. I think you fucked yourself, mate.
He did Bloodshot recently, but he's just kind of the same character in everyone.
Yeah, it's just.
I don't think he's the best actor I've ever seen.
Quiet, foreboding,
in the, Fast and Furious action film.
He just tank top, fast. Just sits there.
badass, expressionless.
Yeah, it's I don't know.
But yeah, well, we'll see what comes of it anyway. Maybe it'll actually get Dwayne back. Who knows?
Yeah, right. You never know. Maybe though, you might be right. Okay.
He might surprise us all.
Yeah.
Or maybe he'll just do some actual blackmail behind the scenes. But
Well, I think Vin's just announced that he's going to be doing a crossover after Black Adam with Gal Gadot for Wonder Woman. So
oh yeah.
that looks
that
awesome.
time when you sucked me off on the Fast and Furious set, I'm gonna leak it.
Oh dear. Oh dear. But yeah. All right. Shall we move on then from the news?
Yes.
We've been on it for quite some time.
Yes.
All right. So, what would you like to go to?
Shall we go to films and TV series?
Ooh, let's do it. Let's do it. So, what have you been watching?
So I've been watching a series on Apple TV called Invasion. It's quite good so far. It's still like an ongoing series, so they're releasing episodes every Friday. It's one of those slow burns, I suppose, with lots of character development and stuff. But I mean, coming from someone who's watched Lost, that's probably I don't mind that kind of thing. Lots of character development. But there's been a lot of complaints about it because, like, literally, for a series called Invasion, there's not much invading going on. You don't see much of the aliens. It's supposed to be very ominous, kind of slow burn, as I say. But and I thought, it's not too bad. I quite like the stories, the interesting scenarios that the characters get into as a result of this invasion thing.
Yeah.
But it's like episode 5 now. We still don't have a fucking clue what's going on. I don't know how many episodes are supposed to be going on in this series, but it's going to have to be a lot if they carry on at the pace they're going.
Yeah.
Interesting show. A lot of interesting ideas and scenarios in there, but maybe they should have called it something other than Invasion.
Yeah. Or do you think they maybe... Do you maybe think they're going for the Quiet Place sort of... The first one, by the way, not the second one, but they're going for the Quiet Place thing? Like, less is more, in a sense. They want people to imagine it, maybe. But it's just not working.
Yeah, that's probably the style they're going for, which I don't mind, that style. I like getting to know the characters and, like, having some breathing room rather than it's all being action-packed all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if it works. So far, you would say halfway.
Yeah, probably about halfway through it, and I would say 60%. Yes, give it a go.
So you're still above the halfway mark. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
I find it interesting. At least the first couple of episodes.
Yeah.
Maybe slowing down a bit now, but.
Well, hopefully they'll pick it back up. Maybe it'll just be like a little bit of a dip.
Yeah. Obviously Squid Game, but I mean, maybe you were. Have you been watching it?
I have. I started watching it. I was like, fine, I'll bite the bullet. Fine.
Yeah.
And I've watched the first 2 episodes. I'm trying to get through it kind of slowly because a lot happens in each episode, so it's kind of like I'm letting myself process it so I don't fucking miss stuff. But I'm enjoying it. It's very different. It's strangely diplomatic. and
it gets kind of more Squid Gamey after the 2 episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because obviously in episode 1 they have the introduction of it, and then the second episode they all vote to end the game. And I'm like,
this is shit.
the fuck? How did they... What? Why? What? So yeah, there's a few things that I'm kind of fascinated by that I'm looking forward to seeing what happens. I might just binge it very soon because obviously due to money situations I'm losing Netflix for a month. I will be getting it back next month, but I can't this month. So but yeah, I know it's very cool. It's very interesting. It's different.
Yeah.
I know there's something about Korean shows that I genuinely enjoy. There's one on Netflix called Sweet Home. I think I talked about that briefly on here before, but that's a really, really good show. If anyone hasn't watched it on Netflix, it's Korean again, but it's very cool, and I highly recommend that one. That's one we've got to watch together as well. I say because we got Lost, and then we'll have that.
Hey, there's Korean sections in Lost.
There is. Lost is so inclusive, man.
Yeah,
it's been so good.
Before it was cool.
Before it was cool. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying Lost. I know we're going to be watching a bit more of it today, which I'm excited about. So, one of my favourite characters just died, so I'm not exactly pleased, but, I get it.
a lot of people's favorite characters will die.
Yeah.
At some point, but not all of them.
Yeah, I think it's good though, because I think as we said when we were watching it, it's like there was not really much to do with that character anymore. It would have been kind of pointless having them around, which I like about Lost. They don't fucking drag shit out. They just all right, we're done with this one. Fuck them.
That arc is kind of finished now. There's not really much to add to it.
Yeah,
so.
Which is good. Anything else you've been watching, sir?
I wrote down Scream 5. I haven't seen Scream 5 because it's not been released yet.
Yeah.
Not called Scream 5, it's just Scream. But
it's an honor, Cindy.
Yeah. I'm very excited for that, actually.
It actually does look
coming out in January. I don't think I talked about it in a previous one, but I may have briefly gone over it.
Yeah.
Words.
Well, it's English.
Yeah, I don't know what they're going to do with the franchise, because obviously Wes is no longer with us, so it's been taken over. But a lot of the cast members are there, and they're all apparently they've had test screening of it, and people loved it, and it's like it builds hype. For it. So they're obviously going with the old meets the new, kind of like the Scream 4, but a bit different because it's like more rebooty rather than sequely.
Because Scream 4 was, although I don't think it's a bad film, I actually have it on DVD. It wasn't as popular, was it? It was quite like I don't know. Would you say it was frowned upon or shit on by the sort of the Scream fandom, or do you think it was more just sort of that wasn't what we wanted?
I think it was a little bit of a change of pace for Scream, but I think it was better received than the previous one, Scream 3. Because they tried to do something different, and Emma Robertson in it, and she's so good in it.
She's very talented.
And kind of had that like different, like meta. More, it still kept the same self-aware, attitude as the previous one. But I think people just kind of wanted to go back to its roots a bit more, I suppose. But as with all series, they kind of get strewn about.
Yes, they kind of lose their way a little.
Yeah. But yeah, looking forward to seeing where it goes with the story. Don't have any idea who the killer is, and I want to keep it that way until I watch it.
Yeah. What was your favourite part about the trailer? Like your favourite moment from the trailer, would you say?
I don't know really.
Because like, just to get us out there, Sean is a massive Scream fan, so he is much more into it than I am. I mean, I love Scream, but
the part when Sydney goes back to the original house and she's with Gail, and so it's like kind of like throwing back to the original, but obviously the Ghostface is playing with them. It's kind of nice to see those settings again. I suppose there's going to be lots of references to the old ones. It's one of those ones where you probably don't have to have watched all the other ones, but it really helps. It really gives a better understanding and just appreciation of it if you do. Just the fact that Neve is in it, Sydney.
Yeah.
It's advising them again. She still looks great, and she hasn't aged.
Like at all. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what how they're going to parody kind of horror films and society in this day and age where it's all super social media and Instagram meta and they obviously had that bit at the start where she's like unlocking and locking the door, and like obviously because everything's digital these days. So but I'm a fan of the old analog, just landline phones and get a phone call. It kind of breaches into this DMs and Instagram and all this. So I'm like, but that's how it has to evolve.
But maybe that's what they're going to take the piss out of, is that sort of how technology has changed, so that the killer can like sort of adapt to that.
Yeah,
I'm just one of those cliche fuckers that watched the trailer and just loved the part where he just looked at him and went, "It's an honor." It's like, yeah, okay, no, I know I'm gonna like this. Because obviously I'm more Nightmare on Elm Street than I am Scream, but I do love the Scream films. They are very funny.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. Seeing probably more trailers coming out soon, and
I hope so.
Yeah. All good.
All good. So I've got two more things, and then that's it. But I watched a film called Pig, starring Nicolas Cage, and I don't know if you've kind of seen like anything about it, but It's an interesting film. It's a newer film, but he essentially is a truffle farmer. So it's a truffle pig that he has, and it's not your normal typical Nicolas Cage. He's actually a very dramatic actor in it. He is actually like very professional in it, and honestly, the film is so fucking sad. Like, I highly recommend it because if you're a fan of Nicolas Cage's over the top bullshit, this is a nice change of pace, and it just shows that this is why he's won awards for his acting, because he can choose when he wants to fucking really turn it on and do a fantastic job, and in this film, he does just that.
Yeah.
So I would actually,
because when I was growing up, I didn't consider Nicolas Cage as a bad actor or
yeah,
anything like that. I've seen all these films, National Treasure and things. I say, like, oh, kill.
yeah, exactly.
But it's only as you get older that you realise kind of
How many net films
it's not like bad acting. It's kind of just over the top and
campy.
just Nicolas Cagey.
Yeah, that's the only way you can describe it, right? Nicolas Cage.
It's very unique.
But I would highly recommend people watch Pig. It's very, very good. It's outstanding. It's really heartwarming as well as heartbreaking. There's some really good actors in it as well, and yeah, it's just a fantastic film. Just go. I can't describe it in any other way other than it's such an odd storyline that you would think, oh, how the fuck are they going to make a film out of this? But they did a fantastic job. Like, it diverts your expectations constantly, and it's just fucking brilliant. Just just go and watch it. Honestly, do yourself a favor. Like, it's brilliant. The last thing that I've been watching again was Lie to Me, the series with Tim Roth.
Okay.
He plays essentially the series is about his company basically learns how to read people and micro expressions and things that give away, like your body gives away certain things. It's based on some semblance of truth, but obviously it's pushed to exaggeration, and because it's a TV show. Highly recommend it. I love the series. It's probably one of my favorite series that has ever been created. So actually that's a series I need to show you. I think I said that before, but yeah, go and check it out. Very good. Watch it.
Yeah, I think you said that while watching Lost. I think it
Yeah.
liked me.
We were watching
Definitely.
Lost, cuddling. But yeah, it's good. Go watch.
I will watch it.
Yeah. All right. So, any more films and stuff? Or are we moving on to the games?
We can move on to the games.
Ooh, boy, the games. So, what have you been playing, my good sir?
Well, obviously the other week there was a Sony games conference of sorts, but it was so shit that it's not even worth mentioning half the stuff that was on there.
Yeah. I mean, great that all the indies got a bit of a shout out. That's great, but it really didn't have a lot.
But I think it wasn't like labeled as an indie conference. It was like third party. So
State of play, yeah.
What have you, Far Cry, or whatever. More Ubisoft, more EA. But obviously there's nothing along those lines. It was just indies. But I mean, great for people who, for indie devs, as you say, and some interesting looking games there. Of course, I haven't actually brought anything down because I didn't expect to be talking about it.
Yeah, no, I think it's just a quick brush over.
Yeah, one of them was First Class Trouble.
Yeah.
Which was one of the Plus games this month actually, and I've had a few goes on that, and it's basically an Among Us clone, but I have been enjoying that. Definitely a party game. Like Friday night with some drinks and your friends or whatever, then that's a perfect game for that.
Friday night's coming up. Friday.
So yeah, enjoying that one. Been getting back into Breakpoint after their a big update, which kind of included a host of quality of life features and a new mode, Conquest mode, which is an expansion of the story of sorts. And that's been very enjoyable. We've been playing a little bit of that together, played a bit more today if you wanted.
Yes, definitely.
It's kind of breathed a bit more life into it, and obviously you get new toys to play with and new guns, new things to do, lots of skill trees to unlock and rank up. Just basically the stuff to do update. Yeah. Because obviously there wasn't much of that before.
Yeah. They've definitely gone above and beyond trying to create something more for the game. I think the best way to describe it would be sort of they've just brought Wildlands and dumped it into Breakpoint essentially, and unlocked the frame rate. So
a lot of people will be kind of happy with.
Yeah.
I don't see where they can go from here. It's never going to
Yeah.
turn around to be like a massive success of a game or anything like that. But I think people who have stuck around or maybe were like on the edge of whether to get it might just get it now. But,
I would say get it now, because when it goes on sale, it's fairly cheap. So I mean, and now there's so much to do in it. Okay, it's very repetitive, but
and all this stuff.
yeah, and you can have Rainbow Six Siege companions if you want. Ooh.
Yeah. You didn't know that one.
Yeah, that's my favorite one in there as well, Ash. So, but yeah, no, it's. I will agree with you, Sean.
Some kind of like Lara Croft DLC in there. Like I don't even know.
Yeah, I just saw
treasure hunting thing.
It's like, do you want to go to this cave? What the fuck?
Yes, please.
Why is this? But yeah, it's basically more of just search around. You can conquer these areas, do these specific missions. If you liked Wildlands, you'll like this expansion, essentially. And it's free. So, fair dues. I will give Ubisoft that. I don't give them a lot of shit, but they gave a fairly sizable free update for this. So
yeah. The weird thing is that they had like their 20th anniversary conference like a few weeks before this launch. They didn't show anything about this.
Yeah.
Like an absolute PR like disaster, not showing the good stuff that they're actually working on, and showing all like disappointing things.
I think it was like more probably to do with the fact that Breakpoint was a flop. And it has such a bad reputation for like just basically being a microtransaction farm. But no, I would say if you want a time waster, if you're just waiting for the next game that you want to play, and you already own this, even better, just download it and just play
it's a solid game now.
Yeah, definitely. Still a few things, but I mean, obviously the story's not really improved or anything, but it's a good solid time waster if you are waiting for your next big game.
Yeah, I think people are more into these kind of games for the gameplay rather than the story, because there's not really many places they can go with it.
Yeah.
And Tom Clancy's been gone for a while now. It's a bit kind of just rehashing the same things. But what have you been playing, good sir, before? I think I've got like one more.
I've got one more thing from the State of Play, which I did remember, which was Bugsnax. Now, for those of you who weren't aware, Bugsnax was like the game that was like one of the launch games for PS5. It was okay. I played through it. It was kind of dull after a little bit, but I could see the appeal. But apparently they're getting like a fairly big update, new areas, new things to explore. All the bugs now have hats.
Oh my god! No, that's just
that's it. I'm sold. I'll come back. But yeah,
I might actually download it
just for the hats. Yeah, that's all that I had from State of Play. Like everything else, just didn't care. I played a horror game called The Evil Inside, which was like it's like a walking simulator horror game. And it was fun. It's on PlayStation. I played it on PlayStation. It was good. It was interesting. It was very PT-esque. So if you remember, anyone who remembers PT, who doesn't, but when that came out, it's very much that kind of storyline. But the actual storyline to Evil Inside was very good. It's an interesting story. You learn about what happened to your this character's parents, and what actually happened, and it's quite a dark story as well. So, highly recommend.
Oh, I take that recommendation.
I take that recommendation, and I shall run with it. Some more horror games that I played: Summer of '58 and Find Yourself, and You Must. They are basically all horror walking simulators that I played on PC by an indie dev whose name I feel awful that I can't remember, but I will put it up on screen if I remember to. And basically, he quit indie development because people on Steam would finish his games because they're under 2 hours long, and they would immediately refund it, even if they gave it a 5-star. So he was making no money. So yeah, go and check out his games if you can on a PC or whatever, and just they're only like an hour and a half, but they're very, very good. And I
sometimes that's just what you want, though, isn't it?
Yeah, something simple, something basic, nothing over the top.
You want to try something different, but you don't want to be playing it for 20 hours.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes having like just a quick thing to get through, it's like a little booster, little thing to make you happy.
Yeah.
Replayed through Alan Wake, but I did the remaster that they did. So, very good. Looked very good. Played very good. I feel like they optimized it a bit better as well. Yeah. I don't know if that's just... Like, remasters don't normally have any optimization kind of done to it. But I feel like they did pass around because I obviously tried to play through it on 360, and my god, that game was bad.
Yeah.
Like the actual game itself, amazing, but
I
the
remember at
optimization.
the time it was like kind of quite a good graphical
Oh yeah,
game
absolutely.
of the time. People thought, oh my god, this is next gen now.
Yeah, this is next gen. It's like every fucking year.
It's only when you look back now that you realise, oh yeah.
Well,
Same with the original Uncharted.
Yeah, absolutely. And I remember the first time I played through Alan Wake. I have it tattooed on my hand for a reason, but it was rough. Like the frame rate it would drop to like 2. The game crashed all the time because it couldn't handle everything going on. Yeah. So it was nice because I actually got to play through the DLCs without it breaking too. Yeah. But no, I would say if you're a fan of Alan Wake, yeah, sure, why not? It's only a remaster. Don't expect anything amazing, but it looks great. The frame rate's unlocked. It's a good time, and it still holds up.
How much actually did it cost, and was it worth like?
It cost £25, right, for the remaster. But considering that you get both DLCs with it, I'd say that's pretty good. Considering the DLCs, I think used to be something like £8 each, and the game itself was £40. So I mean,
that's not bad.
And if you've never played the game before, absolutely pick it up because you're getting a fucking bargain. Not only has it been remastered, and the thing is, although alright, remasters are not as good as remakes. You can argue until the cows come home about that, but I think the reason they've remastered this, and this is just my opinion, I don't fucking know anything about this, but I reckon Alan Wake 2 is just around the corner because in the remaster there are little QR codes that you can find. And I thought, I'll give these a scan and see what happens. And they are new Alan Wake little memories that they've made. And it all hints towards Alan Wake 2, which I'm super fucking excited about if it is.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It has to be.
Because he was in Control. He was in Control DLC. By the way, not a fan of Control. But when they did the DLC for that, and I played through the game, played the DLC... There's a lot hinting at Alan Wake coming back, so I hope they're doing a number 2 because it would be about
what
fucking
else could they be working on? Like, what is it, Remedy?
So Remedy Entertainment. So they've done Control. That was the last big thing they did, which was Control. I don't know because like they've got a couple of things I think in the pipeline.
I'm sure they're working on Alan Wake 2.
Oh shit.
A lot of people would be happy about that. Did you just come across a nude?
No. Oh yeah, that was the thing you sent me earlier. No, I'm not too sure. Like the Remedy are very secretive about their games. They don't tend to say a lot. But they have apparently the most recent thing that's come out is that they've signed with Epic Games to publish 2 new multi-platform games.
Okay.
So I'm not too sure what that's going to be.
Dead by Daylight have gone on board with Epic Games as well. I think Epic's just taking over everything.
Yeah, it's weird, right? Because obviously Epic had that massive battle with Apple, which is still going on, by the way. That's why you won't find Fortnite on the Apple Store anymore. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. It's interesting because again, Remedy are very sneaky. They don't like to reveal anything or talk about it. I think Remedy are like the only company I genuinely try to stay on top of now. But they don't like to reveal anything. They like to keep everything super secret until they're like, oh, okay, now we'll release this.
Yeah.
So that's why I think if you haven't played Alan Wake before, I'd highly say, I mean, if you want to wait for a sale, even better. But I'd say pick it up. It's worth it. Alan Wake is, I think there's 6 episodes in total for the main game, and then you have the 2 multi-bonus episodes as well, which are the DLCs. It's a shit ton of content. Really amazing story, great looking game, plenty to do, and it's something different as well. It's not just your typical shooty kill things.
Yeah, that's a good way of doing it, especially at that price point.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can't really complain at that.
No, exactly. I've got 2 more, so I'll just say one, and then you'll say yours, and then I'll go with my last one, and we'll go from there. But yeah, I've started playing through the Evil Within 2 for the first time, because obviously I finished Evil Within 1 on stream, so we're doing Evil Within 2 now. Yeah. And that's interesting take. They've gone for like open world kind of thing and side objectives and things. It's pretty good actually. It's a lot of fun. So yeah, I'm enjoying that.
I didn't realise you hadn't played that before. I thought you already played this thing.
I did have it. I've had it for a very long time, but I've just never sat down and played it, and I don't know why. Because I liked the first game.
Yeah.
And I remember I think I started playing it a while ago, And then for whatever reason, I got into a slump with gaming, and I think I've talked about this before, where I just stopped playing games for like a year. I just couldn't get into gaming for a year. It was just, I don't know why, but and now I'm back and I'm just playing through every game that I own. Quite quickly, actually. So I'm like, yay, finally.
Yeah.
But yeah. What was your other game good, sir?
Well, there's one that I haven't wrote down, which I'll go over a little bit. It's like GTA Remastered Trilogy.
Yes.
Yeah. So obviously they're deciding to charge $69.99 for the three GTA 3, Vice City, and San Andreas, which is interesting. They've obviously had a little bit of a lick of paint on them, but nothing too much. More like draw distances, frame rate better, stuff like that.
Of course, they've sort of done the graphics. Everything still looks the same, but it's like they've boosted it, right?
Yeah, the character models look a bit like weird.
Yeah,
it's like
they're blocking.
Everyone remembers those games with beer goggles, or not beer goggles, nostalgia goggles.
I mean, to be fair, they're all blocks, so I would say beer goggles. Yeah.
So, like, I think that's how some games should stay. Because when you go back and play them again, you're like, oh my god, this is like a janky mess. But obviously, with it being remastered, then it should improve it for a lot of people, and it changed the control scheme as well to be like GTA 5. So I know they had really bad control schemes back in the day, but when you played them back in the day, you probably didn't know any different. So all I know is like the cheat codes.
Yeah, I remember the cheat codes for San Andreas. I used to have flying cars and explosions. That's what I remember. Do you know what's interesting is I own all of those games now, 3, Vice City, and San Andreas on the PlayStation. I bought them when they made them like PS2 games you could buy. So what I'm curious to know is, are they going to still force people who own those games to pay still, £70, or is it just going to be smaller?
Took those off the store now.
Yeah, they're not available anymore. So I don't
know.
know.
Buy the new ones.
I don't agree with that. I think that's a bit fucking scummy. But maybe the reason they've done that is so that people can't just buy that and then get the things for cheaper. I don't know. Because we've still got to wait. Was it the 30th? Is it this year, end of this month that they're releasing? I don't know.
Yeah. This month, definitely.
I think it's like the 30th. Because I know.
Weird because they've done deals with like PlayStation Now and Xbox Game Pass to release like
San
Andreas and GTA 3.
Yeah.
But so if the only one you want to play is Vice City, then you have to pay for the whole lot.
Yeah. I'm definitely gonna check them out on the Game Pass, because I think it'd be cool to see what they're like now. Because I remember playing it as a kid, and I know that's awful, but I remember playing San Andreas like with my cousin and stuff, and we'd sit there and we never like killed anyone. We just literally.
I used to love the co-op.
I just got in like cars and just flew around. Yeah. That was it. That's all we ever did.
Very fond memories of San Andreas.
Yeah, and it was
I used to have like a bootleg PS2 disc, and it always used to break and like delete my save. But I was just playing that bit where playing as a guy on the bike.
Here we go again.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they didn't put that in the trailer. That would have been such a fucking good. Like right at the beginning, just oh shit, here we go again, and then just boom, new graphics. How did you miss that, Rockstar? How? Probably too busy trying to fucking get more money out of your fans with GTA Online. But, yeah.
CJ, the main character. CJ.
Yeah. CJ,
Yeah.
Obviously, hot coffee will not be a part of it. For those of you who know that reference, you were like me and degenerative.
I wonder what they'll do about the soundtracks as well, because that's quite a mixed one, because obviously they ran out of the license to use them, or some of the songs. Be interesting to see what they may have added or what they've taken away.
Maybe they've just updated it
of that, because it's like this isn't really a massive game story, but it's just because Rockstar are so stingy with game releases and stuff. Like every little thing that comes out, people are like hyping over every single detail. So
yeah, definitely.
There's that, and then there's like one quick thing about the Avengers.
Yeah, go on.
Spider-Man's coming later this month, by the way.
Yeah, I've reinstalled it. I'm willing to try.
I think it's obviously PlayStation exclusive. They get Spider-Man, and I think along with that, there's going to be a new raid or something to keep everyone happy.
They're bringing out.
They really shot themselves in the foot with the PlayStation thing.
Oh, they've fucked Marvel. Marvel Avengers got fucked into the ground so badly. Like it's frustrating.
So they want to kind of hype up Spider-Man, but they don't really want to hype it up because it's going to make everyone else upset. what can they do? Just release him like, yeah, there you go, Spider-Man.
Yeah, it is. No, we're leaving this. Fuck
He
off.
hasn't got a story. He's just got,
Well, I mean, another story on Marvel's Avengers. Obviously, they got a lot. They've now actually backtracked. They've got rid of the XP boosters.
Yeah.
People were fucking fuming at them for doing that.
Yeah.
Because they said they weren't going to do it.
Yeah.
Like,
they were fuming, but like, if anyone in their right mind actually bought XP boosters, I suppose some people are that stupid.
Like Crystal Dynamics, are you just really stupid? Like, look, apparently Guardians of the Galaxy has been fucking praised, and it is apparently a really incredible game because it's single player. Why didn't you do that with the Avengers?
Yeah.
Why?
To do it's kind of clear when you're playing it. That's what they were going for to start with.
Yeah, and then they went, "Oh no, let's make it a live service, more money."
But anyway, that's enough on that one. Really doesn't bear talking about it.
Yeah. I've only got one more game, which is I'm still playing through it. It's called Concrete Genie. So I'm still playing through it. I played a lot more of that very recently. I'm enjoying it. It's a very, very good game. It's a nice little breaker for me because it's like just a very chilled, relaxed, nice, kind, wonderful, heartwarming game.
Yeah. So you get to a lot of character development. So.
Yeah. I'm enjoying it. Yeah, no, I've seen a lot so far. And like I know about like certain powers that brush has now, so yeah, it's very cool. I'm enjoying it a lot.
Yeah, you'll love the ending's really good as well. So
I'm super excited.
You get more powers,
even more. Yeah, but that's all I've got.
It actually surprised me at the end. So yeah, something to look forward to.
Well, that's me for gaming.
Well, yeah, that's me as well.
The last thing.
The last thing is the interesting thing.
Interesting things, Sean. What have you got?
We may have talked about this before, but I just wanted to talk about the rise of AI technology in our homes and everywhere, basically.
Yes.
So obviously we've all got Alexas and what have you.
Nope, I refuse.
You did used to have one.
I used to have one. Fuck that.
So what are your opinions on because I mean we've got 3 in our house and we don't really think much of it. One in most rooms.
Yeah.
So is it a good thing to kind of have these devices in our homes, and what do you think is the dark side of it as well, I suppose?
I mean, I don't think they're bad. I think it's an interesting concept because obviously Alexa can like do the bulbs and change colors and things like that, and that's very cool. That's cool. The dark side of it is that they listen to you 24/7 and then fucking push adverts in front of your eyes when you're talking about babies' nappies. So I don't know. I feel like it's a good thing to have, and it's very cool and it's exciting. But I think there needs to be more restrictions on them. Like, companies cannot just be listening. Because this is the thing. The Alexas and stuff, people like to act like they're not, but they are. They're listening 24/7. Same as your phone, right? Your phone does it as well. That's why if you talk about something and then 20 minutes later you go on Facebook, you're going to see an advert for that thing you were talking about. It is just something that happens these days. I think privacy needs to be more respected with this stuff. I'm all for, like I say, like you said, I have an Alexa over there. It's in a box. I don't use it anymore because I felt uncomfortable having it in my room when just randomly it would be like, "I'm sorry, I didn't quite catch that." Didn't fucking say anything. So I don't hate it, and I like it, but I'm still a little bit too nervous to fully embrace it.
Yeah, I mean, there's obviously well, I'll go over like what our opinions of it anyway.
Yeah, what's kind of your thoughts on it?
It's kind of I suppose it's a helpful device in some ways, as you say. Maybe possibly for old people, it's quite good because it's kind of like a companion almost to them, and I know you can talk to it, you can converse in some ways with it. It can remind you of certain things. You can set timers. You can play music for it, and so it's kind of a helpful thing. Or if you need help, I think there's some kind of things on that where you can shout certain things and it will actually help you in some ways. But yeah, it is a bit unsettling, the fact that it is listening all the time. I just wonder who is actually like listening to it and what they're going to do with like what Dorothy is having for breakfast. But yeah, it's obviously all about a collection of data.
Yeah.
And just, it's like these things are really cheap. You can get them for like 10, 15 pounds now, and the price you actually pay is your data. So,
yeah. Again, like I'm all for it. I think it's great. I loved having my Alexa set up, and I could just be like, Alexa, play this song, and just it would play it. That was awesome. But I don't know. The thing, so with you then, is there anything about it that does worry you about it, or is there anything that you have experienced where you're like, oh, I'm not comfortable with that, or anything like that, or has it been more just? It's a bit of an inconvenience?
I wouldn't really say it's like I'm worried about them because we've got like 3 in our house. They're all done. They're all listening all the time.
Yeah.
We're not exactly discussing nuclear codes.
So that's how you get arrested. FBI, open up!
Yeah, I guess it's just more unsettling when you actually sit down and think about it, that it is actually listening all the time. But then again, not worried enough to turn it off.
Yeah, I get you.
My mum loves it like so much. She plays, like, she literally will listen to it instead of watching TV and stuff, which is probably good. You're giving your eyes a bit of a break.
I mean, yeah, that's a good thing, I guess. That is true.
But yeah, I mean, obviously this kind of links in with a Facebook metaverse thing. Like, I mean, have you seen what the future of this thing is looking like? You can jump into virtual reality with your friends, and
And people wonder why I don't use Facebook.
Yeah. It reminds me of the old like trailers for PlayStation Home and stuff, and how revolutionary it's going to be. Yeah. But it's just going to be like a little social space where microtransactions are plenty. It's not going to be how they advertise it to be. No. It's going to look nothing like how they advertise the metaverse to be. Yeah.
It's scary. I think that's the thing that gets me. Maybe this is just a me thing. Maybe it's that I'm just too fucking cautious, or I'm too filled with anxiety for it. I don't know. Maybe it's a me thing, but I find it fucking terrifying. Because although very cool, and this technology is amazing, like the idea of the metaverse is a cool thing as well. Like people who are like me, who are disabled, who can't physically keep a job because people just will not hire me, I can just jump into the metaverse and work from home like that, but with a team. Perfect. That works perfect for people who are disabled. I can have a job, I can earn my own money, and I can do it from the comfort and safety of my own home. Brilliant.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, how much before you basically just sign over your soul? Like, how far do they have to push this envelope before it's, okay, we're no longer even getting out of bed anymore because you just put some glasses on, there you go, I start your day. Like, that's how your day starts.
It's like an episode of Black Mirror or something.
It's like a really cool episode of Black Mirror.
But it's real life.
Yeah, but it's real life. I don't know. I again,
don't lose everything about humanity that makes us human, I think.
Yeah,
I think people outside, having the presence of socialness about us.
Yeah, I think that's the thing that that's why I probably don't like it as much, as I'm very much into going outside and like talking to people. And again, like, I'm not saying that this stuff isn't going to benefit some people. I'm very aware, as you say, Alexas are good for the elderly because it helps them make shopping lists and it can help them do that kind of stuff. But I think the technology isn't quite there for it to be reliable enough for it. But I think it's a good idea for that generation and for us as well. Like, when we get older, the technology is going to be there and we'll be able to be much more comfortable and much more looked after, and I think that's going to be a great benefit to the human race. But at the same time, it's like, how far do you push that envelope before it just becomes like you're not even watching WALL-E anymore because you are WALL-E, You're sitting in a chair, not using your bones, and just doing everything on a holographic screen. So maybe I'm overthinking it too much. Maybe I'm just not enjoying the technology that's there. I'm willing to accept that, and
it's going to replace a lot of jobs anyway, because AI is just going to be able to teach our kids.
Yeah.
AI is just going to be able to give you curriculum. What's the point of teachers anymore?
Yeah.
It's just, we're going to lose that human touch.
It's like I say, there are plenty of good things about it, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just thinking too far ahead. Maybe I'm overthinking it way too much. And it's like, well, look, James, it's just an Alexa. It plays music and reads you your audiobooks. That's fine.
A lot of farts and flatulence.
Alexa, fart for me.
Decrypt this.
But I don't know. Maybe I'm looking into it too much, but I don't know. I'm a very anxious and cautious person when it comes to stuff. Although you wouldn't think it, but I am, and I like to be cautious with this stuff.
Yeah.
And change is a thing that I struggle to accept, especially with technology. So I don't know. Maybe I'll get better as time goes on.
Yeah.
But this is a subject that I am a little unsure on because, like I say, back to what you said, about AI and what's my opinion of it. I think I'm unsure right now. I'm sort of in the middle. There are plenty of good things that I could list, but there are also some things where I'm like, that's not great either.
Yeah.
So
it's always just like everything, a bit of a balance and
yeah,
bit of a weighing scale.
I think I said it best earlier when it was like, caution. That's the main thing for it. Being cautious with it. It's exciting new technology, but be cautious with it. You don't need it.
Sign your life over.
Yeah, you don't need it for everything, right? You're able to you're able to have an audiobook on your phone. It's fine.
Yeah,
You're
able to go out and meet your friends. You don't have to meet them in there.
Exactly. You don't have to live in a different universe. Be happy with who you are, kind of thing. Yeah. So.
Yeah. As we are video calling each other.
Yeah, you live in England. It's a little harder.
But yeah.
What's kind of your overall ending thoughts on AI then?
Just the same as you. Just be very careful about it, and don't just willingly just accept the agreements. Just make sure you read all those things. And yeah, it's gonna get to a stage where it does become overwhelming, but you just try and learn about it as well, not just blindly accept it. But yeah,
very positive.
There is actually another little thing I can talk about, a bit of a change of pace if we were finished on that topic.
Yes, of course. Yep.
It's linking back to Travis Scott and the kind of first thing. So, celebrity collaborations with popular media and games and things, or maybe collaborations with Nike merchandise, stuff like that. What do we think about these? Is it a good thing, or is it just kind of a quick, bang, let's get some more money, and then as soon as the celebrity does something we don't like, we just drop them off, cancel kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, is it a good idea for collaborations to happen in the first place?
Oh, that's tricky.
Yeah.
Because you've got. I guess the way you have to look at it is who does it benefit most? The people collaborating. As we say, Travis Scott, Ariana Grande. These, to just take examples, they've worked with Fortnite. Clearly, that has benefited both parties. They've both made a fuck ton of money from it, and have probably benefited greatly and still probably benefit greatly. Ariana Grande's skin gets sold all the time, and I'm sure she takes a healthy profit.
Literally, in Fortnite, Ariana Grande is a canon part of the story in that she's some kind of demon slayer thing.
An actual character now, that's built into the lore.
So, I think maybe that is going a bit too far with celebrities, actually making them characters in a game where if they were to do something disgusting and things that involve them getting cancelled, then it's going to be hard to kind of erase that kind of thing. It's
very risky. But
Travis Scott fine one-off concert, a skin sold, you could just refund all the skin purchases and whatever, but
they won't. But yeah, I don't know. I think they're cool. I think they're a nice thing to do. I think when two parties come together that are both greatly respected, they can make something really, really amazing out of it. And sometimes creativity can be increased by it as well. Little Nas X with his shoes, he's done an angel shoe and a devil shoe. Granted, the devil shoe got a lot of controversy, but it's something exciting. It's new. It's like trying something different, but with sort of a barrier of, well, we support this, and so does this person. There you go. And it's like an opportunity for someone to get something exclusive. If they're a massive fan of this person, they can own this thing. But I do think, again, it's that caution thing. It's I think sometimes celebrity blinds kind of the repercussions of something they may do or something. And I think especially when it comes to benefiting who it benefits, especially if it's like a charitable crossover, brilliant. I've never ever got a problem with that. But it's when you have something like, oh well, Travis is going to make X amount and then Epic makes X amount. You get a cool skin that you'll like for about a week. It just seems a bit unnecessary.
It's you kind of got to be really careful who you choose to collaborate with as well.
Yeah.
It's if they've got a history of bad things, or they may potentially be, controversial in the future. You've got to really think about it.
Absolutely.
Because certain people, you're gonna collaborate with them. It's gonna be great in the short term, but in the long term, it's not gonna be a good thing. It's gonna tarnish your brand as well as that person's brand.
Yeah, I think it's a.
But I think on the surface level, it's very cool, and who doesn't want to see their favorite things in something?
Of course, I think one of the factors of it is like it also creates more content. So if you're a huge fan of something, now there's even more stuff for you to enjoy about it, and that's great. I think it's just I think a lot more collaborations these days, at least to me, feel more predatory in the sense of you're not really getting a lot, but these people are making fucking millions off of it. So I think like older collaborations, like in the past when you'd have like two shows that would cross over or something, it was all giving to the fans and the audience, whereas now these days it's more
personal.
Yeah, it's like, I get something for this, so I'll do it. It's not like they're doing it because, I know my fans would absolutely love this. I'm sure Travis Scott sat there and went, when I do this show on Fortnite, my fans are going to have an amazing time. This is all for them. No, he was sitting there smelling his money. And, I think
that's... It is an interesting thing coming out of the back end of Travis Scott. Oh, that sounds wrong. But yeah,
sure, it's just not the shit he spouts from his mouth.
Yeah, he's not going to be the only one who's got his like money focused mindset. I'm sure a lot of artists will be the same, and anyone in any vocation or whatever. So it's going to be a bit of an eye opener that things may not always be genuinely for the fans these days.
Yeah. Which I think is a shame.
So it's good to bring that to light. Commercial side of things. But,
I think crossovers are cool. I think they are something they can add like a huge amount, but I think it's that thing of it depends on who is doing the crossover.
Yeah.
So that would be my opinion on it. I don't disagree with them, but I think sometimes they're a bit scummy.
Yeah. It's like it's not really something I thought about before the whole kind of Fortnite thing, to be honest.
Yeah, because Fortnite has made it so normal, right? Like they've done crossovers with so many different. Like you've got a Scream crossover, Resident Evil crossover, fucking you've got fucking tons of shit.
I suppose it's kind of different when it's a character in a different kind of universe, like Batman or something.
Yeah,
like because you can't really go wrong with Batman. It doesn't matter which actor plays him. You kind of just gotta have your own Batman idea.
Justice.
Batman's Batman.
So is that the question then? Is it more who does it, not so much who, but if it's actual people that's crossovering, is that different to how having like a skin or just a character from a game?
Yeah,
and
I
if
think
so,
it is
how?
Different. I suppose like having just the character. I suppose it's like another barrier of like of separation between the personal actions of someone and how it affects the business, because they can always just find someone else to play Batman. Can you find someone else to be Travis Scott or Ariana Grande? No,
not really.
It's still like enigmatic and popular amongst the fan base that they're irreplaceable and damaging to both sides.
Interesting.
If anything were to go wrong, so I think it is different.
Yeah. Do you think it's safer just to go with a character from a game or something then? Game crossovers are fine kind of thing, or
absolutely.
Or do you think? Go on.
It's kind of like highly scripted and like not censored, but it's kind of limited to what like that person can't just I'm going to be Batman today and say whatever the hell I want.
It's like a character cannot just suddenly come to life and do things in real life that are going to have serious consequences, whereas an actual person, a little bit more volatile.
There is a direct consequence between supporting someone in a game who's done horrendous things or supporting a character which you just happen to be a fan of, and the actor happens to do something bad.
It's one of those things. Do you separate the art from the artist?
Yes.
I'm just so woke. But yeah.
Travis Scott? No.
Yeah, I agree. Oh, well. What a fascinating topic that was. That's a good one. That's going to make me think now.
Sometimes to bring some coke.
I'm going to be thinking about that for the rest of the day now. But yeah, is that it? I think so.
That is all I've got.
I think that's it. Well, there we are. Another wonderful, beautiful, and amazing episode of the podcast. So I hope everyone enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching. Again, thank you to my wonderful co-host Sean, who is beautiful. Look at him sitting there. Look at that face.
Co-host.
Beautiful man that he is.
I'm the co-host.
But yeah, so thank you everyone for watching. Again, please go and check out the links in the description for Two-Way. I'd highly, highly appreciate it if you guys want to go and check them out again. All positivity and love. That is what we spread over there. I know this podcast sometimes doesn't have that, but, you know, there we are.
We keep it real over here.
Yeah, we keep it real over here. But yeah, so thank you everyone for watching. Thank you to Sean for joining me. And yeah, we will see you in the next one.
Yeah, see you in the next one.
Bye-bye.